Hello and welcome back to the Cars Ireland YouTube channel. I'm Sinead and it's been a while, so please bear with me while I see if I remember how to do this. You may or may not have noticed a little gap in service on the channel recently, but don't worry because we're back and here to bring you reviews of all the latest and most popular cars on the Irish market. So if you're new here, please hit subscribe, and if you're an OG, make sure to give us a little thumbs up and we'll promise to never ever leave you again. So the car we're here to review today is the one you might say started this whole SUV thing. It is of course the Nissan Qashqai. And not just any Qashqai, because in the age of EVs it was time to add some form of eco-friendly semi-electric option, which they have done with this new powertrain, but we'll get on to that more later. For now, we're going to start, as we always do, with the nitty-gritty practical side and see if it's going to be able to carry around all the things you need it to. The boot measures in at 504 litres, which is far from the largest in its category, and in fact falls quite short of two of its biggest rivals in the Hyundai Tucson at 620 litres and the Kia Sportage at 590. But what it lacks in volume, it does make up for somewhat in terms of practicality, with a good wide opening, a nice flat load area, a handy false floor, a couple of shopping bag hooks and this very snazzy electric tailgate. One of the things I like best about the Qashqai is just how wide these back doors open, which is almost to a 90-degree angle. Very handy when you're wrangling kids in and out of car seats. As for general space back here, I would say about average for the class. I have plenty of room to sit behind myself and I'm 167 centimetres for reference. Width-wise, it also does quite well, although like most modern cars, you won't fit more than 2 car seats back here, and this middle seat is generally left best to little people. There's also quite a bit of a hump in the floor which will impede on legroom, but these outer 2 seats are really quite comfortable. Plus you've got a few nice little convenient touches, like a couple of USB ports here and here, a magazine holder, and door bins wide enough to fit the Cars Ireland coffee mug. The front of the cabin is equally spacious and nicely designed. The materials used have a high quality but fuss-free feel to them, and I am very happy to see some old-fashioned dials for things like aircon and temperature control, which you might need to access in a hurry. The standard of infotainment depends on which spec you go for. The entry-level e-Power gets an 8-inch screen as standard, but you will need to upgrade to this SVE model for this 12.3-inch system. And quite a good system it is too. Now, infotainment is one area where Nissan might have been seen as a little lacking in the past, but really there's very little to complain about here. You've got your Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a fairly decent sat-nav system. The e-Power range comes generously equipped from the ground up, with 18-inch alloy wheels as standard, as well as electric lumbar support for the driver, rain-sensing window wipers, and a raft of high-tech safety features, including emergency braking, blind spot intervention and lane departure warning, which we love to see, and all helped it score the full 5 stars on the NCAP safety test. Time for another Cars Ireland coffee mug test, which I'm happy to report it passes both here and in the centre console without interfering with any of the driving controls, thanks again to that nice, neat, fuss-free layout. According to Nissan, the e-Power was built to give the driver all the benefits of driving an EV without ever having to go to the bother of plugging it in, which is a bit of a stretch of the imagination because you do also have to put petrol in it. What they've done here is essentially create a reverse hybrid, so instead of a battery powering an engine, what you've got here is a 1.5 litre petrol engine charging a battery which powers an electric motor, which is all that ever powers the car. So in that sense, it does feel like an EV to drive, which means punchy acceleration and a nice, fairly quiet, enjoyable EV drive. The system was also built to help improve fuel economy, which it does on some of its ICE counterparts, but those expecting the kind of reduced running costs which you'd get with a true EV or even a plug-in hybrid might be disappointed, because even the official figure of 5.3 litres per 100 kilometres is really just on par with some of its non-reverse hybrid counterparts, or dare I say it, even a diesel. So while it might feel like an EV on the road, not so much on the wallet. On a more positive note, it does handle very well. It's got a nice low centre of gravity, which helps it feel centred on corners, and all of those safety systems are very clever and helpful without ever feeling too intrusive. If you enjoyed driving the last Qashqai, then this one is definitely going to feel like an improvement, because it really builds on all that was great about that one, except offers just a more cleaner, enjoyable driving experience. The Nissan Qashqai has been around for more than 15 years, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And what Nissan have done here is really quite clever, in that they've given it just enough of an electric injection to appeal to those drivers who might want to be moving away from petrol and diesel but aren't quite ready to take the plunge to full EV. Let us know what you think of the Qashqai e-Power in the comments section below. Like and share if you enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to see more like it, please hit subscribe. If you're in the market for a new Qashqai, or indeed an old Qashqai, or any other make and model for that matter, make sure to head over to CarsIreland.ie, where you can browse hundreds and thousands of new and used cars.